town of Gallows End lay nestled among jagged mountains and dense forests, its inhabitants long resigned to the eerie whispers of legends that surrounded it. Chief among these tales was that of the Midnight Express, a ghostly train that roamed the rails at the stroke of midnight, said to carry lost souls to a destination unknown. On the outskirts of town lived Sarah, a disillusioned writer in search of inspiration for her next novel. She had heard the tales of the Midnight Express since childhood, but dismissed them as mere folklore. Yet weary of her mundane life and yearning for a spark of creativity, she decided to investigate the rail tracks rumored to be the haunt of the spectral locomotive. As dusk descended and the sun sank below the horizon, Sarah wrapped herself in a worn coat and set off toward the abandoned station. The path to the railway was overgrown and lined with shadows. The wind howled through the trees like lost spirits lamenting their fate. With each step, memories of childhood campfire stories flooded her mind. Tales of those who boarded the train and never returned. Upon reaching the station, Sarah was struck by the haunting beauty of the decaying platform. Rusted tracks stretched into the pitch-black distance, thick vines clawing their way up the splintered wooden beams. She pulled out her notebook, eager to capture the atmosphere, when a sudden shift in the air caught her attention. A heavy silence enveloped her, broken only by the distant sound of a whistle, an eerie, echoing call that stirred shadows from their slumber. It was just shy of midnight. Sarah's heart raced as she glanced at her watch. Doubt turned to sudden anticipation. Despite her skepticism, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was coming. Moments later, the ground trembled beneath her feet and the faint glow of lights appeared at the far end of the tracks. A distant rumble grew louder, and within moments the Midnight Express emerged from the darkness, its engine billowing ghostly steam, carriages shimmering like silver specters. Goosebumps prickled along the back of Sarah's neck as the train rolled to a silent stop before her, and she felt an irresistible pull. As the doors slid open, a voice echoed softly through the air, inviting her to board. All aboard. It was a tone both alluring and ominous. Against her better judgment, curiosity propelled Sarah forward. She climbed aboard, and the doors closed behind her with an echoing thud, sealing her fate. Inside, the train car was elegantly adorned, yet steeped in oppression. The passengers surrounding her were silent, their faces pale and vacant, eyes glazed over as if trapped in a trance. Sarah's heart raced. Fear swirled within her as she realized she had stepped into a realm far removed from the living world. As the train jolted to life, she approached an older man seated nearby. "Where are we going?" she asked, her voice shaking. He didn't respond, merely staring vacantly ahead. Panic began to swell within her, but she pressed on. Glancing out of the window, the scenery changed rapidly. Dark woods giving way to fields of glowing mist. An unsettling sensation washed over her. She was not merely a passenger, but an unwitting participant in a nightmare. A spectral young woman caught Sarah's attention, her vacant eyes holding a haunting sadness. "We are destined for nowhere," she said cryptically. "Once you board, you can never leave." Determined to escape, Sarah raced through the cars, desperately seeking an exit. Each car felt like purgatory, filled with lost souls clinging to fragments of their lives. The Midnight Express transformed into a manifestation of her own creative struggles, each passenger an echo of the inspiration she had lost. Returning to her seat, Sarah closed her eyes, focusing on her buried dreams. She envisioned her stories and began to whisper them to the universe. A warm energy enveloped her, dispelling the shadows that loomed. As the train slowed, passengers began to dissolve into mist, their whispers fading into the night. The train screeched to a halt and the doors opened, revealing the familiar surroundings of Gallows End, now bathed in soft light. Stepping off the train, Sarah felt a weight lift from her heart. Empowered, she returned home that night, her spirit ignited. Sitting at her desk, she began to write, the words flowing like water from a dam. The Midnight Express may have taken her to nowhere, but it had gifted her the most profound inspiration of all, her own journey of rediscovery.